6 Things We Learned from Game of Thrones: The Last Watch documentary. HBO gave fans a long parting look at the making of Game of Thrones on Sunday night in a 2-hour documentary that focused on the Herculean efforts by the small army craft and technical experts who worked on the mammoth fantasy drama. Game of Thrones: The Last Watch introduced viewers to the leaders of the below-the-line departments that breathed life into the throne's milieu with costumes, hair, makeup, special effects, location managers, a fleet of extras and an entire department devoted to snow. Last Watch gave a generous spotlight to Bernie Caulfield, the veteran producer who has been hailed by Thrones showrunners/exec producers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss as the linchpin. In discussing the enormity of the production, Caulfield likens the job of organizing Season 8 to figuring out an algebraic equation. "We keep messing with. Here are 6 more things we learned from The Last Watch." It appears Kit Harington discovered that Jon Snow would slay his love, Daenerys Targaryen, played by Emilia Clarke, during the table read for the final episode, The Iron Throne. Footage of the table. Production designer Deborah Riley illustrates all that was at stake in Season 8, where the budget reached some $15 million or more per hour. "All we were doing in." David Nutter, who directed 3 of Season 8's 6 episodes, emphasized the importance of so many departments coordinating details down to the last second, in many cases. "I am a conductor." The doc does a good job of demonstrating the sacrifices that the Thrones production crew members made in trekking around Europe to lens the show. Prosthetic makeup. The series' production offices did in fact have entire shelves devoted to shoulders and other severed body parts. Among the thousands of small details that had to be minded, one production staffer was assigned to keep an eye on the state of Daenerys' blonde locks. Clarke was also. MSN UK are empowering happiness for Mental Health Awareness Month. Find out more of. Gallery. HBO teases new Game of Thrones documentary with 13 behind-the-scenes photos. Insider.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.